Hello, this is Spellbinder with an update on the Gulf Coast. BP and NOAA's lying, teaching students lies, and 8th graders who have the first science classes, and when they answer and agree with the lies, they get a pin and a hat from BP. Isn't that loving? This is how this goes. This is by ProPublica, Journalism in the Public Interest, and this is done by Marianne Wang, and it goes, in school outreach, BP and NOAA dispel myths about dispersants in subsurface oils. Even as the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency calls for more research into the long-term effects of chemical dispersants BP used in the Gulf, representative of BP and National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration have reached out to local schools to dispel myths, spread lies actually, about dispersants in subsurface oil, according to a recent report in the NOAA Courier and the Tri-Parish Times. We first noticed the Tri-Parish Times piece via Treehugger. And you can check all these sites out when I post the link at the bottom of this video. BP and NOAA appear to be doing demonstrations for local schools using a 10-gallon fish tank full of water and some cooking oil. How come they didn't use real crude oil? And real dispersant to show exactly that dispersant what it does. Oh no, they use cooking oil and some dishwashing detergent to simulate the properties of oil and the effects of dispersants. I'm sorry, but Coexit 9500 is quite different composite than dishwashing detergent. Actually, it's more like a degreaser that you use on your engine. In the spray can, it says toxic, dangerous, flammable, and stuff like that on the can. The NOAA Courier quoted NOAA Science Support Coordinator Gary Ott as telling the children, "Oil floats, see? We've tested it." The oil floats argument is also what then BP CEO Tony Hayward said when first confronted with the evidence of underwater oil plumes this summer. According to the two reports, Ott had the children try to use eyedroppers to suck up the oil, simulating the inefficiency of skimmers. He had them use paper towels to simulate absorbent booms. And then he applied dishwashing detergent to the floating oil to break it down, simulating dispersants. Though he acknowledged the dispersed oil doesn't disappear and could hurt some fish species, Ott told the children that the chemicals were broken down within weeks by microbes. They sure let that tank sit there and see if microbes break it down. That's why they sure use real crude to prove their point. The Courier reported, this is what the Courier reported, he also assured the children that Gulf seafood was safe to eat. Tasty, saturated in dispersant. See, scientists, as we've reported, have found thick layers of oily sediment in the Gulf floor, and more recently, researchers at Oregon State University found abnormally high levels of carcinogenic chemicals in the water off the coast of Louisiana, Mother Jones noted. We've asked both NOAA and BP for comment regarding the demonstrations. A BP spokeswoman told me she was working on putting together a response, but has not yet provided one. We've asked specifically what myths about the dispersants the company was trying to dispel. In any case, here's how the company explained the outreach to the Tri-Parish Times. The primary purpose of the demonstration is to inform and educate students on the methods used to clean up the oil in the Gulf and the wetlands and the marshes. Janelle Newsom, BP Media Liaison, said in a press release. It's also to dispel myths about dispersants, subsurface oil, and seafood safety. According to BP representative, it won't be the last demonstration. This is the first session of many going on, Charles Gainey, a BP representative, said of Oakland's library last week. We are starting here in Terrebonne Parish with 8th graders because they are the first school-age kids that have a defined science class. We wanted to reach out to the schools and are near communities that have been directly impacted by the oil spill. So Terrebonne was a good choice. There's a lot of information that's out there isn't current or accurate. During the demonstration, reported the Tri-Parish Times, a BP representative asked the students questions about the oil spill. Students who answered correctly received a BP hat or pin as a prize. In other words, they believed the lie and answered correctly to the lies and disinformation, they get a pin and a hat. And they'll go home and try to convince their fishing parents or dad, who's a fisherman, that this stuff is safe. We can go out there and get the seafood now. They told us so. They said the oil disperses. See, they poured cooking oil in there and then put some detergent in there and it all went away into little pieces. Yeah, what they're not telling you is that that's not crude oil, a thick, pasty stuff. And the dispersant that they used wasn't Coexit 9500. Well, that's all I have for this time. That's all the comments I have too. I mean, it just amazes me how they're trying to lie and disinformation to school kids now. So they'll believe that BP can do no wrong, as well as NOAA. I can't believe that NOAA is involved in this. It's just, I almost don't want to believe the weather reports anymore at all, because NOAA is starting to lie with BP. Well, until next time, this is Spellbinder with this very unusual article and reactions and whatever story from BP that everything's A-OK in the Gulf. Go back. Disregard any health warnings. Go back to swim. It's okay. The water is safe. That's what they said in Jaws. Good day.